So, guys, let's talk about Shu, the man who once used to be known as one of the biggest trash chair legends of all times. Also, now the biggest nightmare in anyone trying to do 5-6 since the changes, who really just triggers the shit out of me. And I will now explain why. So, his ideal position is center mid. Again, I don't know who was smoking pot at BB headquarters and decided the position bonuses. If you're putting him here, you're pretty much just lost, so don't. Most people are putting him in backline, a few on the sides, and even then, it's more a backline kind of deal, just because of the way his skills are. And I really do hope someday they fix those bonus positions because they're just atrocious when you know he works. Ace-wise, increase action speed and reflex of Ardor players. I don't know. Even as a burst, it still feels damn weak to me. I mean, I don't know if you really want to, but I would not advise it. Active, penetrate, increase attack power by 35% and reflex by 30%, accumulates up to 3 times. You die, you still keep it, so you can fucking suicide like a psychopath. That's pretty damn cool. And the good part is that this one skill gives you 90% reflex. That just let that sink in, knowing how hard it is to get reflex nowadays in this game. And this gives you also 105% attack power. Again, no one's ever complained about bonus attack power. It's also a pretty damn cheap active, half a bar. And the good part is it's not a self-buffing one, so it can't be cancelled. And it can always be used multiple times since it has a 0-minute cooldown. I have no idea why it says available in 15 minutes. It's not the case. I'm guessing they haven't updated this. Oh well, it's fine. Galaxy Star increase action speed by 25%, critical rate by 25%, and increase the incoming damage by 25%. Well, I mean, there's nothing more you can ask in someone. Crit, speed, DR. Gotta say, no issue here, fam. No issue here at all. Now Mind Blown 2 recovers 10% of action bar, 15% of the lost life, and 40% of the spirit of ally with an attack. Now, this is again why we put him in backline like this. He can do this twice. The only thing you need to be very careful and not misunderstand him for Metatron is 15% of lost life, not 15% of total life. So if you lost 40% of your life, you're only going to be getting like 15% of that 40% back. It's not as great as it sounds. That's why you got to penetrate 2 lines to really start feeling the effect. And when your team is very healthy, you're really not going to feel anything. You're just going to feel the cool action bar gen, who, well, we never say no to that. And on top of it, you're going to feel the spirit gen, but the life fig is not as great as it is put up to be. Of course, if you're low on life, then it's the lifesaver. And in certain PvP times, you're going to need it. So it's kind of to be read carefully. Effervescence, give an additional gain, an additional action with an action. And these things are hard to read. 50% of the lost life will be recovered first, and then the critical damage of the action will be increased by 40%. Pretty much this means he's going to be healing 50% of the lost. Again, the lost is really a dick thing. Then he gets also at 15% when attacking. So it's 50 calculated, then an extra 15, then another 50, then an extra 15. So he shouldn't be dying. I don't know. I mean, you got to be doing something wrong if Shu's dying now. And worst case, if he doesn't attack, he still heals the 50% because it's with an action and not with an attack. So next action, he's back up. Because the only reason someone doesn't attack is if they're in the last 20% of their life. So 50% of 80% is 40%. You're back at 60. You can start penetrating again. Life will be good for you. So this is something you kind of got to notice. Also, critical damage of the first action will be increased by 40%. Yes, I know it used to stack to every action. It was broken as fuck. Guys, come on. We all knew Shu was supposed to be fixed, but not broken. So yes, only the first attack gets this buff. Stop going crazy, people. It's not that's not even even partially the broken part of this player. I mean, 50% self-healing, DR, speed, team action bar, team's heal, team spirit. I mean, in my eyes, that was more what mattered. But some people went schizo when they found out this was only the first action, and there was an error in translation, and then they messed up the system. And yeah, just be very careful where you look at your Shu guides and at your Shu rage posts. Now, again, he's an old player, so you're going to be awaiting the shittiest chains of all times. So, Friendship, Freestar Trash, Rival, William. Okay. That again, pointing out Mono Ardor, this works. William's in every legendary chain of Ardor. Why not why? Nemesis, you won't see them. You won't. I mean, you will technically see a Kalish for the obvious reason that you're going to be using him in COD for that insane ace, but that's not a Nemesis. Nah. Affection, Lucian, the worst goalkeeper in the game. I think now Racklett even outranks him. So, again, not the greatest deal out there. Just the William rival. That's the thing that matters. Now, build wise, again, old player, old stone setup. Now, there's depending on the person, different ways that people are seeing how to build him. A lot of people I've seen actually run him with Will of Metatron just to give him a little bit more crit rate to really take advantage of his skill and do some more important damage, really take advantage of the effervescence part. And of course, generating action bar has never hurt. Then they usually tend to put an Ardor critical damage stone for that damage increase. And then they put an Ardor reflex stone and they try to get some DR, speed, and crit rate subs. And in the center slot, another Ardor critical damage increase or an Ardor reflex. Again, you can look a bit for a bit more DR if you feel you're being weak. But with the defense line buffs, you should have no issue. Again, he moves, he heals. So it's not even that big of a deal to give him survival. You just want him to survive and not be out reflexed when he's penetrating. So this is why in his case, even through he has that nice reflex, throwing at least one reflex stone, just one earth and reflex ups, you know how the gig goes down. What is a cool way of using him? Well, technically, since he heals so much, some people are just using him as the backline healer, who isn't really a big deal. He's like a Virgil 2.0 on steroids, except he doesn't have the same active. Okay, I mean, it's not really that bad either. He will spirit gen the shit out of it. Put a Gelf in midline, let Gelf get an active in once in a while, and you're all good. And you can have a backline super based on survival. That should also work fine. He's also part now of the Rainbow Mono Legend meta. Don't talk to me about that. It just makes me cry when I meet it in League. It's just really sad. But yeah, pretty much. He's not bad. I would say he might not have the survival of Duke, but he's extremely versatile. And if you have him, especially with Metatron and Choi, like the person who is asking these reviews, you should be able to really take advantage of them between his action barger and Metatron's action barger and Choi's line speed buff when he penetrates and then passes to the front line. He should really not have any issues of not being able to shoot before the enemy line tries to take the ball out of their hands. So I hope this helps you guys understand the basic of how Shu works. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or opinion, again, I don't use him, so you might have a lot of them. Have a good day, guys.